رمضان يا رمضان رمضان يا رمضان رمضان يا رمضان رمضان يا رمضان.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to In the Light of the Quran. We do an overview of the recitation for the 20th night of Ramadan. Tonight's recitation constitutes Juz 24 of the Holy Quran. The Juz begins by concluding Surah Az-Zumur, the groups, where Allah describes a vivid scene in which humanity has been judged, contrasting those attaining felicity in paradise and those who have the misfortune of not reaching paradise. May Allah make us to be of those who are worthy of attaining paradise. The surah that follows, Surah Al-Mu'min, the believers, it's also titled Surah Al-Ghafir, the forgiver. This is the 40th chapter in the chronological order of the Holy Quran. The disbelievers of Mecca at that time were engaged in two kinds of activities against the Prophet. First, they were creating every kind of suspicion and misgiving in the minds of people about the teachings of the Quran, the message of Islam, and about the Prophet. Second, they were preparing the ground for curtailing the message of Islam by putting an end to the life of the Prophet himself. Indeed, they were intending to assassinate the Prophet. As a response to the conspiracies of the murderous plot, the story of the principal believer among the people of Pharaoh have been narrated. And through the story, three different lessons have been taught to three different groups. On the one hand, the disbelievers have been admonished. Whatever you intend to do against Prophet Muhammad, similar things were tried before. The same Pharaoh did against Moses. With his might, he tried to undermine Moses. Now, would you like to meet with the same fate as the people of Moses did? By trying to plot similar conspiracies as Pharaoh did? And here we see again the link between Moses and Prophet Muhammad, and then the comparison between the Quraysh who were in charge at that time and Pharaoh. Prophet Muhammad had a special feeling for all the prophets among all human beings, because he considered them as part of one fraternity conveying the message. He considered all prophets to be a brotherhood of separate mothers doing the task of conveying the divine guidance to humanity. But a particular occasion he was crying, and his daughter asked, "O Prophet, O Father, you are crying because the people are insulting you?" And he responded, "I'm thinking of Moses, how he went through so much hardship and he was able to bear." And here we see how Allah compares Moses with Prophet Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with both of them. Prophet Muhammad and his followers have been taught the lesson. These wicked people may apparently be very strong and powerful, and you may seem weak and helpless against them. Yet you should be rest assured that the might of Allah, whose words you are trying to raise high, is superior to every other power. So we have an admonition to the disbelievers, and here a lesson to the believers. And then the third group is the objective people in society. Those who had been convinced in their hearts that the disbelieving Quraysh were being unjust and who have been cruel to the Muslims. These may not have been Muslim people at that time yet, but they observed the injustice. So there are those who deny the truth. There are those who follow the truth. And there are those who may not deny the truth or may not follow the truth, but who are potential Muslims and people inclined towards Iman because of their impartiality and their justice. Allah addresses the perspective of each of these groups in these three discourses. The next surah is Surah Hamim As-Sajda, also known as Surah Fussilat, expounding or explaining. The name of the surah is composed of two letters, Hamim and then As-Sajda, which implies that it is a surah which begins with Hamim and in which a verse requiring the performance of Sajda, prostration, occurs. Different from Surah As-Sajda, the prostration, which is the 32nd chapter of the Quran. I think it occurs in Juz 21 of the Quran. This Meccan surah was revealed after the affirmation of faith by Sayyidina Hamza, the uncle of the Prophet, and before the affirmation of faith by Umar, who later became the second Khalif. The question that was disturbing the Prophet at that time was as to how he should carve out a way of preaching his message when he had to face such heavy odds from every angle. The solution he was given to this question was, although apparently the obstacles seemed to be insurmountable, the weapon of revelation, high morals and good character can overcome the machinations of all opposition. Use this armament of revelation patiently, and in the face of diabolical challenges, seek refuge in Allah. Eventually, the truth will prosper and the truth will win. Then there is a particular incident that happened between Utbah bin Rabi'ah, the father-in-law of Abu Sufyan, between Utbah and the Prophet, before Utbah embraced Islam. And it was regarding this chapter, and I think it appropriate to mention it here. Utbah came to debate with the Prophet about the faith. And history documents the Prophet ﷺ listened to him attentively. لم يقاطع محمد عتبة مرة واحدة وقد تركه حتى فرغ تماما من حديثه. That the Prophet listened to him, did not interrupt him, and listened carefully to what he had to say. And after Utbah said to the Prophet what he wanted to say about his idea and his belief and his thought, the Rasul asked him, أَقَدْ فَرَغْتَ يَا أَبَا الْوَلِيدِ, O Utbah, Abu al-Walid, have you now said completely what you want? Are you satisfied that you have conveyed to me what you want to convey to me? He said, yes, I have. Then the Rasul said, فَاسْمَعْ مِنِّي, listen to what I have to say to you. And the Prophet Muhammad did not speak, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He did not speak, and the hadith documents, بدأ محمدا في الحديث فلم يتكلم بكلامه هو إنما تكلم بكلام الله تكلم. He said, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not speak his own words, but he said the words of Allah, and he said the words of the Quran. تكلم بالقرآن فقرأ سورة فصلت. And he did, in that discussion, he read Surah Fussilat. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حاميم تنزيل من الرحمن الرحيم كتابا فصلت آياته قرآنا عربيا لقوم يعلمون بشيرا ونذيرا, and so on. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam read this. Hamim, this is a revelation from the most compassionate, the eternally merciful. A book whose verses are well expounded, pure Arabic recitation for those who understand and those who have knowledge, and so on. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because the surah was recited by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet did not interrupt him, listened to him, and responded with the Quran. When Utbah went back to his people, he says, أني سمعت قولا والله ما سمعت مثله قط والله ما هو بالشعر ولا بالسحر ولا بالكهانة. He said, by God, I've heard something now from Muhammad, the like of which I had never heard before. I swear by God, it's neither poetry, nor sorcery, nor magic. This is documented in Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya of Ibn Kathir. So we learn from this the etiquette of engagement. How to listen even to your opposition. To be respectful. To respond with the best response. And then let the person be in awe of what has been said. We also told in the surah and reminded, do not despair of Allah's mercy, as Allah forgives all sins. Which party will you be on the day of judgment? When the disbelievers will be driven to hell in groups, and the believers led to the gates of paradise in groups. Which party or which group would you want to be? And the deeds of which party are you doing right now? Are you acting in a way that will make you to be associated with the people of paradise or not? Then there are good tidings for those who repent, as the angels seek forgiveness on behalf of those who repent. There's also reference to many blessings of Allah, about the noble Quran and the condition of those who reject it. Then there's reference to the dangers of having bad companions and the fact that those bad companions may make disbelief alluring and sin appealing. There's also the importance of calling to Allah and the importance of always having good character and good manners. The concluding part of this juz. Look to the horizon within yourselves and ponder the signs therein. The creation of who is all of this? Who was the creator of all of this? This reflection will lead the true seeker of truth to a way of finding the definitive truth emanating from the ultimate reality. Shukran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
رمضان يا رمضان رمضان يا رمضان رمضان